Hello and welcome to Captain Stitches. Yes, I'm here. Hello. And I have decided that since it's not midnight yet and it is a National Jelly Roll Day, I have been sitting here working on an old jelly roll quilt that I pulled out thinking that it would be fun just, to be able to work on something that uses a jelly roll today. And yes, some of you may think it looks a little familiar because it is the one that I worked on last year on National Jelly Roll Day. It got put to the side, and no, I haven't worked on it since. So I brought it back out, I believe it was yesterday, to refresh my memory on where I was. There were some pieces that still needed to be cut, so I got all of those cut. And now I'm sitting here working on a couple of the blocks. I've already finished one block and getting ready to work on another block. So I thought, hey, why not record a video and share it with you and just show you another use of a jelly roll and a background fabric and what you can come up with for an awesome quilt, which this is taken from an old quilt maker magazine from 2007, which is when I actually started this project. And it is a pattern called Confetti Log Cabin. You can see part of it there. This is the actual pattern, how it turns out. And it's a little hard to see in the fabric colors that they're using there. But that is what I'm working on. So I'm going to sit here and start on this block, put the pieces together, and just show you what I'm doing, which it consists of some 4 patches, first of all, that have been made already out of the jelly roll. This is my background, the lighter fabrics that you see here, and these are from the jelly roll. It is an old fabric line. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it right now. I will put that in the description box below when I load this video up. But it is a beautiful, beautiful fabric line. It's very cheerful, very springy and summery for working on when there's just a couple days and it'll be fall, but that's okay. It's good to get another project completed. So I hope to work on this time until it is completed. But with that said, it is, like I said, not midnight yet, so it's still officially National Jelly Roll Day. Is 10:32 p.m. here where I am right now, Eastern Standard Time. So things have calmed down a bit, and I'm able to be out in the cottage and working. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me. But as I said, I have made some 4 patches, first of all, that take up the first corner section of this block. And then there is one little lone one that gets sewn to that also. And then these strips in a certain order, A through F, I believe it is, that all have to be connected together to make one block. And the block finishes at 12 inches. And I believe there's 35 blocks total in the quilt. Uh, so it makes the size that I am making, it makes a quilt that is approximately 72 by 96. So a good couch size, lap size, twin size, bed size. And so that is what it will turn out to be. And I do have one row completed over there. That was completed last year during Jelly Roll Day. So that is on the long arm there, waiting for the other rows to be sewn onto that. So let's get with it. And hopefully I have these lined up right. If not, we'll just have to turn some of them so that our seams line up. But I'm just going to pin that center seam on there so that doesn't doesn't move while I'm stitching that. There is a gnat in here that is going to bother me. But so we're going to sew these 4 patches together first. Do that quickly. If I had planned and known that I was going to do this video, I would have gotten some of the other things that I've been working on to show you, but just an impromptu little video here, so not really, didn't really prepare to do that. And I am going to look and try and pay attention to which direction this is pressed. So that, oh, and of course I forgot to turn my iron back on. I'll have to wait just a couple minutes for that to heat up. While I'm waiting for that, I will go ahead and sew this one little piece on this other strip while we wait so that I don't have to waste the time or your time. So we're sewing that other little one onto one of the other strips from the jelly roll subcut. Just glance and see which direction they have us pressing that. So I'll finger press that so it's ready when I come to it. And I guess we could go ahead and sew this one onto here as well while we wait, the other 4 patch, and then there is a square in the background that goes along with that. Just quickly get that together. Need to look and see what mess we may have around that I didn't really look and see either, but it's okay. I'm just gonna place that back there where it goes. Okay, iron's ready. That across. So we set it back in the right spot here. Got some fraying going on there. We're gonna flip that down and attach it to the other 4 patch and square that matches. And I'm gonna do just a little bit more pinning on this piece. I do a lot of finger pinning. I don't use a lot of pins, but there's some intersections here that I want to make sure keep lined up. So I'm going to do just a little bit of pinning on them. Should be good. But yeah, it's, like I said, it's called a confetti log cabin. So it's kind of put together like a log cabin, just a variation because some of the parts are pieced that would not normally be. So we're going around and adding strips similar to if you were making a log cabin, just that some of those pieces have to be pieced first into the components that they are. So makes it just a little bit different, a little bit more challenging than just your straightforward log cabin. But will come out very nicely and very pretty in the end. Yeah. Oops. Okay, turn it the right direction. I was going to say, did I just sew that on the wrong way? No. It's like turn the block the correct way and then it will look correct. So this is the section that I've just sewn together. It's the 3/4 patches and the square down there. So now all it is sewing the strips on, except for first one that we had to sew that little piece on that goes along with the center part of the log cabin. that should be our next section to go on. We're going to go ahead and pin that right there too. And the fingers will hold the rest. Good to be out here sewing, let me tell you. I've been doing a lot of handwork. Well, I've actually, in the last few days, I've done a lot of piecing of some of the, I shouldn't talk while I'm sewing. I know you can't hear the sewing machine, but it does have a tendency to garble my voice, so I apologize. But I have completed, I think, um, 2 whips this week that are fall quilts. Well, within the last couple weeks, I guess it was. And last night, in looking for one of the quilts that I have to quilt, I found another one down there that I forgot was down there that is also one that is a Thanksgiving one. So I got it out and I got the backing and batting and everything ready for it. Let me see, what am I putting on here next? Do I have this one in the wrong place? We have to check something here. Okay, we're just missing a piece is all. We're missing one piece. We need one of the little squares down here. And we got a blue, so let's go down here and get a green one to put on there. Okay. Can always tell right away when something's not quite right. This one also takes one of the little squares added to it for it to come out correctly. Missed putting that on when I was laying out the block. But I have the one and it's called Running Squared. It's Running Scared. It's a cute, very cute little turkey applique in the middle and then some beautiful fall fabrics going around it that are cute. Like I said, I'll probably show it within the next couple days, hopefully. If I get the time. I was going to say if I get around to it. We will see. I appreciate all of you that are very understanding in the situation right now and understanding that I can't be on a schedule doing as much as I was. Just has to be randomly when I find the time or the opportunity to be able to turn on the cameras and share whatever I can with you. This line of fabric is called Sunshine. Don't remember the designer's name, but I just remembered because I decided to call this quilt Sunshine Confetti. Use part of the original name of the pattern and the name of the line since it is so pretty with all the yellows and blues. It does remind you of sunshine, doesn't it? But now we can sew the other one on the side here and it's going to look correct. Yeah, the way I had that started was like, "Oh, that's not going to come out the right size." Down a ways, put your finger down here, and you don't have to use any pins. Just line that up and let it go. Once all you have the cutting done and the four patches made and all that pressing, a lot of pressing, the actual putting of the blocks together goes very quickly. So it is a fun quilt to make. And we're adding the last piece to the block on already. This is going to be really quick. I may be able to grab the one quilt that is over here that I did finish. The only thing it's not done on it is the label. I can share that with you. One that I just pulled out and said, maybe we should go ahead and finish this. I've been doing very well lately on working on my whips and getting some completed and out of the way. That really feels good. It's fun when you're working on things you want to be working on. Okay, so there we have, sure I pick it up correctly. We have a V block completed. Doesn't that turn out just a beautiful? Very, very nice block. But we have that one, and just before coming on, don't want to drop all these that I have stacked on here in order. But here is the other block that I did. And to give you an idea on how this second row is going to go together, let me see, this is the first one. So it is going to go this direction, and this one is going to go this direction. I'll try and hold that up so you see how that's going to go together when I have them all sewn, but I'll kind of wait because I don't know exactly how all the pieces are going to come together. I might be doing some switching around, but if I hold that up, you can see how that's going to have that zigzaggy line going all the way down diagonally throughout the quilt when it is done. So it's going to be very pretty. And like I said, quick to put together. So we're just gonna stack that and actually be ready to, I set that to the side. Oh, set it over there. I was gonna say we could actually kind of show how we lay another block out, which it starts with three of the four patches, which that is all, that great big stack in there is all the four patches for the quilt. So they're all there. Hopefully we've got ones that will work. That seams up, that seams down. This seam goes that way, that seam goes that way, and that's okay. I'm fine. Those are two greens, but they're two different greens. So just checking that out. And then we come over here. Have to grab the rest of them. Label for knowing which one those are just popped off there. We'll lay that back on there. That gets filled in there. You have to take one of the B's and put up there. And then we need a C. And that gets connected to that. Another square. That one. That's going to go down there. That's the one I missed last time. This strip. Will go there. The others are over here. We ran out of room in there. Had to get another one. This will go there. This will be the final one across there. So there, we already have another one assembled and ready to sew real quick. So maybe we'll go ahead and do that. Try and chain piece these this time. Hope I don't get them turned around in doing that. And I'm going to finger pin this time. I just put my finger there when I butt those seams up, and I don't move my finger till I get to that seam. One. And just leave it connected together. Gets pressed that way. We're just going to finger press it for now. And this one goes this way. Just so I know that that's the top, I'm going to stick a pin in there. Okay. Because I have two, we can't hold two fingers on an intersection at the same time. We'll pin that one and I'll just use my finger on this one. I think there's 5 blocks to a row. So down there, and we're good to go. Looking up there thinking I'm going to see my pattern there. It's not up there. It's over here. Where am I? Okay. It's going up that direction. So now we will press it before we go any farther. In place. Stitch that little one onto there again. Probably get a lot done after I said I had to do a lot of subcutting yet on the background pieces that weren't all cut. If I had been able to sew more, it would have been had probably another row sewn together, and going to sew that one on there too, so it's ready. When I come to it, but I probably could have had another row on the quilt if I hadn't had all the subcutting to do today. Which I have no idea. Normally when I, prepare for a quilt, all the subcutting is press the other is all done before I start. And so I'm not sure how that happened, but it did. And so we had all that prep work to do first, and that's okay. It's part of the process. I don't mind cutting fabrics. I know some people do, but I actually kind of enjoy it. Iron's on there so it doesn't shut off. Press that quickly. Now we're adding that one on again, going around just like you would for a log cabin. Start this and then come back down there. That. Now I can line that up. So let me know in the comments how many of you worked on a jelly roll quilt today. And if you're in my Facebook group, go ahead and share a photo of the progress you made on working on a jelly roll quilt today. And back in there, just so it doesn't get moved. Not invading my space. There is something else new in the cottage that I haven't shared with you yet. As soon as I'm done with these other two pieces, I will tell you about that as well. Have it turned the correct way. It will actually only fit one way. Oh, gonna move that out of the way. Okay, scoot into my chair better here. Yep. just like that, I have 3 blocks done. Yay. There we are. And I know that they alternate, so it's going to go the same direction as the first one. So we're just going to clip that on there. We have 2 more blocks to go in this row, and it'll be ready to sew together and add on to the other one, which there's 7 rows a total in it to make. And then there is an inner border and an outer border. So a very fun quick quilt to do. I don't know why I didn't stick with it when I started making it, but I didn't. But I'm going to grab this other quilt. Whip is laying on the floor, sleeping right there. I'll have to step over him. He was kind of in the way there. Well, let me see if I can get my chair out of the way enough so I can show you this. But this is called pumpkin heads. So there that is that I finished. Got it, and it was, I mean, it was start to finish. The faces are appliqued on, and I quilted it with a big stitch with black thread so that it would show up. But that is that quilt that I did complete, and it's got a plaid flannel on the back for the backing. So all done with that quilt, except for the label. That's why it's still laying there because I need to put a label on it yet. But the other thing that I was going to tell you about that is new in the cottage is I do have an additional new sewing machine, and it is sitting just on the other side of the desk across from this one. This is a double sewing cabinet, so there's space on the other side and this side to be able to sew. And it is a Juki TL 2010Q. So I have been wanting one of those for a while, kept talking myself out of it, and finally decided, yes, I was going to go ahead and get it because there are some bags and totes and stuff that I want to get back into sewing. So I decided that I would get that sewing machine. That is a little better for doing the heavy duty stitching than good old Janome here. She's getting a little old, so not that she wouldn't handle it, but just like the rest of us, she needs to be in retirement a little and not do quite as much sewing. She's got a lot of hours on her. I'm trying to think how long I have actually had her. I know it's probably got her around 2012. And keep in mind, I quilt and sew not as much as when I'm doing the hand stitching now, but used to on an average of oh 8 to 12 hours a day. So that's a lot of hours on this sewing machine. And she has held up very nicely and still is. It's a Janome 6600P. And it's a true workhorse, but just decided it was time to go ahead and get the Juki for some of the more heavy duty sewing. They both stitch at the same speed, so I did not get it for the speed, but just to be able to have the more heavy duty stitching for some of the totes and purses and that type of thing that I'm going to start making. So thank you for joining me and watching this video on a National Jelly Roll Day and seeing what it was that I decided to do this evening when I got time to come out and spend some time in the cottage and do what I love, both being able to quilt or stitch of some kind and to share it with you. So thank you, everyone. I hope you have had a great Saturday. I was going to say weekend, but this is Saturday. We still have Sunday to go. And so enjoy it. I hope to see you back again sometime at some point in time next week for something, but I can't guarantee it. So in the meantime, happy stitching, everyone. And remember, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye, everyone.